What's up guys, once again welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video there's a video I came across and it really caught my attention. The video is about Brics, and for those of us who might have missed what Brics is, well, in short, Brics is an informal group of 5 emerging countries that aim to increase their influence in the global market. These countries are Brazil, Russia, China, India, and South Africa. So recently we've heard that Donald Trump sent a warning to Jamaica that they should not join these Brics. So let's dive into this video and then I'll be back with more comments.
What would Donald Trump do if Jamaica joined Brics? The geopolitical landscape is shifting, and the emergence of the Brics bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has presented new challenges to the traditional dominance of Western powers. Jamaica, a small but strategically significant nation in the Caribbean, has historically aligned itself with the West, particularly the United States. However, if Jamaica were to join Brics, it would signal a bold realignment in its foreign policy. With Donald Trump now serving as President of the United States, his response to such a development would undoubtedly be shaped by his characteristic boldness, nationalism, and transactional diplomacy. In this video, we'll explore the potential political, economic, and geopolitical responses Trump might pursue, drawing on his foreign policy style and previous actions in office. Before delving into Trump's likely reaction, it is essential to understand the significance of Brics and why Jamaica's potential membership would be a matter of interest for the United States. Brics was initially formed as an economic bloc of emerging economies, aiming to challenge the Western-dominated global financial systems. Over time, it has evolved into a geopolitical force advocating for a multipolar world order. With recent expansions, Brics now includes countries from Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America, broadening its influence. Jamaica's strategic importance lies in its location in the Caribbean, a region historically considered the United States' backyard. As a key member of CARICOM, the Caribbean community, Jamaica wields regional influence and has close economic ties to the U.S. through trade, tourism, and remittances. Joining Brics would signify a departure from its traditional alignment and a pivot toward a bloc that includes U.S. rivals like China and Russia. To understand why Jamaica might consider joining Brics, one must also examine the economic and political benefits the bloc offers to smaller nations. Brics provides an alternative to Western-dominated financial systems, such as the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, often criticized for imposing stringent conditions on loans. For Jamaica, access to Brics' new development bank could offer favorable financing for infrastructure projects and other development initiatives. Additionally, the bloc's emphasis on South-South cooperation aligns with Jamaica's aspirations for greater autonomy in global affairs. P.J. Patterson, a former Prime Minister of Jamaica and a respected voice in Caribbean affairs, has expressed views that align with the rationale behind Jamaica potentially joining Brics. Patterson has long advocated for greater South-South cooperation and a reduced reliance on Western powers. In his speeches and writings, he has emphasized the importance of diversifying Jamaica's international partnerships and seeking alternatives to the traditional financial institutions that often impose rigid conditions on smaller nations. Patterson has also been critical of the inequities in the global financial system, which he sees as disproportionately disadvantaging developing nations. By aligning with Brics, Jamaica would have access to more favorable funding mechanisms and opportunities to collaborate with other emerging economies. Patterson's advocacy underscores a broader sentiment within Jamaica and the Caribbean: the desire for greater autonomy and representation in global decision-making processes. His views would likely serve as a significant influence on Jamaica's decision-making process regarding Brics membership. Donald Trump's foreign policy has consistently been defined by the America First Doctrine, prioritizing U.S. economic and geopolitical interests over multilateral cooperation. His approach is often transactional, viewing relationships with other nations through the lens of cost-benefit analyses. Trump has frequently criticized China and Russia, imposed tariffs, withdrawn from international agreements, and redefined alliances based on perceived loyalty to U.S. interests. Understanding these tendencies is crucial to predicting how Trump might react if Jamaica joined BRICS. His response would likely reflect his broader strategies of economic leverage, rhetorical aggression, and a focus on preserving U.S. dominance in the Western Hemisphere. Trump is known for his blunt, often provocative rhetoric. If Jamaica joined BRICS, his immediate reaction would likely involve a series of public statements condemning the decision. He might frame the move as a betrayal of the U.S. and accuse Jamaica of aligning with America's adversaries. On platforms like Truth Social or in public speeches, Trump might assert that Jamaica's leaders are selling out to China and Russia, portraying BRICS as an anti-American alliance. Such statements would resonate with Trump's base, many of whom view the U.S. as engaged in a global struggle against the rising influence of authoritarian regimes. He might use the opportunity to highlight his own record of standing up to China and Russia, contrasting it with what he would describe as the failures of previous administrations. If Jamaica's decision to join BRICS occurred during Trump's presidency, he would likely frame it as an external challenge that validates his hardline policies. However, if it happened after his initial term, he would likely blame prior leadership for allowing such a shift. Trump might argue that weak leadership led Jamaica to drift into BRICS, criticizing policies that failed to prioritize the Caribbean in U.S. foreign policy. Trump's criticism would likely extend to specific policies, such as foreign aid or trade agreements, accusing previous administrations of neglecting Jamaica's economic challenges. He might also highlight instances where China or Russia filled the void left by U.S. disengagement in the region, framing BRICS as a consequence of failed American diplomacy. While Trump's initial reaction might be combative, he could also instruct his administration to engage diplomatically with Jamaica. His government might offer high-level talks aimed at persuading Jamaica to reconsider its decision. These discussions would likely emphasize the benefits of remaining aligned with the U.S., including economic incentives and security cooperation. During his presidency, Trump often relied on personal diplomacy, developing relationships with leaders such as North Korea's Kim Jong-un and India's Narendra Modi. In the case of Jamaica, he might seek to establish a direct dialogue with Prime Minister Andrew Holness or any future Jamaican leader, emphasizing his ability to make deals. Trump's foreign policy often relied on economic tools to exert pressure. If Jamaica joined BRICS, he might threaten or impose tariffs on Jamaican exports to the U.S., such as coffee, rum, and bauxite. He could also restrict investments or tighten regulations on Jamaican businesses operating in the U.S. Such measures would aim to demonstrate the economic consequences of aligning with BRICS. However, they could also risk backlash, particularly from American businesses with interests in Jamaica. Trump would need to balance his desire for leverage with the potential economic fallout. The U.S. provides significant aid to Jamaica, particularly for development projects and disaster relief. Trump might threaten to cut this aid, using it as leverage to coerce Jamaica into withdrawing from BRICS. This strategy aligns with his transactional view of foreign aid, which he often described as a bad deal, unless it directly benefited the U.S. Reducing aid, however, could have unintended consequences, such as pushing Jamaica further into BRICS orbit. The bloc's new development bank could step in to fill the gap, providing Jamaica with alternative sources of funding. This dynamic would underscore the limitations of Trump's strategy and highlight the growing influence of BRICS in the global South. The U.S. is Jamaica's largest source of tourists, making the tourism industry a critical part of the Jamaican economy. Trump might leverage this by warning American travelers against visiting Jamaica, citing safety or political concerns. While such a move would face criticism, it would align with his history of using economic leverage to achieve political goals. To counter such measures, Jamaica could diversify its tourism market, targeting visitors from BRICS nations. China, in particular, has a growing middle class with significant travel potential. By promoting itself as a destination for Chinese and Indian tourists, Jamaica could mitigate the impact of any U.S.-imposed travel restrictions. Trump might respond to Jamaica's BRICS membership by strengthening ties with other CARICOM nations. By providing economic incentives and security cooperation, he could attempt to isolate Jamaica within the Caribbean. This strategy would aim to prevent other nations in the region from following Jamaica's lead. For example, Trump could offer trade deals or development aid to CARICOM members willing to remain aligned with the U.S. Such initiatives would serve to counter BRICS' influence and reinforce U.S. dominance in the region. However, They would also require a level of sustained engagement that Trump's administration has not always demonstrated. Trump's administration has often hinted at a revival of the Monroe Doctrine, which opposes foreign interference in the Americas. He could frame Jamaica's alignment with Brics as a violation of this principle, justifying increased U.S. involvement in the Caribbean to counter China and Russia's influence. The Monroe Doctrine has historically been controversial, viewed by some as a justification for U.S. interventionism. Trump's invocation of the doctrine would likely spark debate about its relevance in the 21st century. Nevertheless, it would underscore his commitment to maintaining U.S. dominance in the Western Hemisphere. As part of his broader strategy, Trump might advocate for an increased U.S. military presence in the Caribbean. This could include joint exercises, expanded Coast Guard operations, or even new military agreements with neighboring nations. Such actions would signal U.S. dominance and deter further Brics expansion in the region. A stronger military presence would also serve as a message to China and Russia, signaling that the U.S. is prepared to defend its interests in the Western Hemisphere. This approach aligns with Trump's emphasis on projecting strength and deterring adversaries. So, what does the future hold if Jamaica were to join Brics, especially under the presidency of Donald Trump? It's a scenario that raises complex questions about global alliances, economic pressure, and regional influence. As Brics continues to challenge the dominance of Western powers, small nations like Jamaica are finding themselves at the center of a geopolitical tug-of-war. Donald Trump's reaction would undoubtedly be bold, unapologetic, and filled with the kind of drama we've come to expect from him. Whether through economic leverage, diplomatic maneuvers, or his trademark fiery rhetoric, his response would aim to keep Jamaica and the Caribbean firmly within the sphere of American influence. But the bigger question is, could this mark the beginning of a shifting world order? One where small nations like Jamaica redefine their place in global politics? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Once again, welcome back. So in today's discussion, I do want Trump to realize that Jamaicans, they actually don't follow anyone. Jamaicans do what's good for them. Jamaicans do what's good for the Jamaicans. And they actually don't listen to orders from anybody. So we've seen Jamaicans react and say that Trump should realize that he is the president of the United States and not the president of Jamaica, or rather the president of the world. So him trying to tell Jamaicans what to do is totally wrong, or rather they are saying that it's none of his business. So guys, you tell me, what do you think about this? Should Jamaica join Brics or not? Because we all know that it is said that joining Brics will improve the country's economic, like the country will get to be recognized globally. And what does that mean for a country? Well, something else is that I think the reason to why Donald Trump is trying to warn Jamaica not to join Brics is because he knows the kind of influence that Jamaican has in the Caribbean. We all know that once the Jamaican joins Brics, all the other Caribbean countries will definitely join Brics. And what I'd like to urge my Jamaican people, my viewers, my subscribers, I'd love for Jamaica to chart your own destiny away from imperialist powers. What do we mean by that? What we mean is that Jamaicans, just do your thing, do what's good for you. Like, just make sure you follow your own path. Don't let anybody influence you, or rather don't let any other person, any other country try to tell you what to do and what not to do. You know what's good for you. You know what's best for you. And as the presidents of these countries, you definitely know what's good for your people. So don't listen to anybody. If you want to join Brics, just join Brics. And if you don't want to, then don't join Brics. But we all know that the country needs to grow. The country needs to develop. So we actually would love to advise our presidents to make the right call. And what people should realize, what other presidents should realize, is that no country in the world should be allowed to impose their beliefs and their laws on another country, and most importantly, to impose their laws and beliefs on a country like Jamaica. We all know Jamaica is a country that stands on its own, a country that believes in its own beliefs. You can't tell Jamaicans what to do. So any country has the right to join Brics, or rather to make their own very decision. And Trump trying to warn Jamaicans not to join Brics is like a red flag. It totally means that Jamaicans joining Brics will be a bold step for Jamaica. Well, I just think that Donald Trump should leave Jamaica alone. And I think, to my knowledge, to my understanding, democracy means that you have the right and the freedom to make the decision you want. And the main term here is freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. And in this case, Trump is trying to act, or rather make Jamaica look like they don't have freedom to do anything they want. That's why Trump is trying to send out this warning to Jamaica for them not to join Brics. So guys, I have to take this opportunity again to appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you for taking your time to view this video. To my returning subscribers, I have to say thank you so much for taking your time coming back to watch my videos. And to my new subscribers, my new viewers, I want you to feel much welcomed on board. And I'd love for you guys to answer me this question once again. Should Jamaica join Brics? Should Jamaica join Brics? So engage me in the comment section. I'm your host Larry, and until we meet again, peace out.